Good afternoon to all participants. I welcome to the session of strategic management. Today we'll discuss about the concept of strategy. So strategy is a plan of action that is designed to achieve a particular goal or a set of goals. The importance of such strategy that it helps the organizations to focus on their long-term goals and objectives and to allocate their resources in the most effective way to achieve their goals. If you see the types of strategy, there are several types of strategies, including the corporate strategy at the corporate head office level, the business level strategy at various units, business-wise units of the organization, as well as there is a functional strategy which is formulated by each and every functional departments of the organization, and operational strategy, that is day-to-day business operations. The strategic development process, if you see, the strategic development process typically involves the several steps. It includes analyzing the external as well as the internal environment, setting the objectives, formulating a strategy, then implementing it, as well as subsequently evaluating the outcome of the strategy. You see, there are various strategic tools and techniques. Those are the management tools that is used for decision making. There are various tools and techniques that organizations can use to develop as well as implement their strategies. It includes the management tool like SWOT analysis, that is strength, weaknesses, opportunity, and threat. It includes the pestle analysis, that the external macro environmental factors, as well as it includes the Porter's 5 forces analysis and the balance scorecard. So strategy also refers to strategic leadership, that is successful strategy development as well as implementation. It requires a strong leadership with the leaders who are able to think strategically, who can communicate effectively and inspire the team to achieve the goals. If you see the strategy and the organization culture, it has got a strong impact on the strategy, with organizations needing to ensure that their culture supports their strategic objectives and helps to drive success. You see, the strategy and change management, developing and implementing a strategy often requires significant changes with an organization, and effective change management is critical to ensuring that these changes are successful, because the external environment is changing, and based on that, the organization also has to change its plan and activities. With respect to strategy and innovation, as you know, innovation is a key driver of success in many industries, and organizations, they need to ensure that their strategy includes a focus on the innovation, that is the continuous changing through innovative ideas from the stakeholders to remain competitive in the marketplace as well as to plan for the growth and expansion. If you see the meaning of strategy, strategy refers to a plan or a course of action that is designed to achieve a particular goal or objectives. Strategy involves making choices about how to allocate the resources, how to allot the time, as well as putting efforts to achieve the desired outcome. Then strategy requires a clear understanding on the organization's functioning, its strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. That is referred as the SWOT analysis. It involves the setting the goals and objectives that are measurable and that are also achievable, make it relevant and also time bound. Strategy is an ongoing process, continuous basis in the organizations that requires continuous assessment and adjustment based on the changing circumstances. Strategy involves making decisions about which markets to enter and which products and services to offer and how to differentiate oneself from the competitors through differentiation strategy. Strategy can be developed at different levels, like in the corporate head office, that is termed as the corporate strategy, as the business unit level strategy, and the functional level strategy. It requires a holistic view of the organization and external environment in which it operates. When you talk about external environment, the impact of micro environmental factor as well as the macro environmental factors. One is the stakeholder analysis, the other one is the macro level environment analysis, political, socio-cultural, then economic, then demographic. These are the macro level analysis is carried out. Effective strategy implementation, it requires a strong leadership and also it needs two-way effective communication and organization alignment. See, strategy is an essential element of long-term business success and sustainability because it is projected long-term future plan of action to be carried out in a gradual manner by the organization, say next 5 years or 10 years, like that. If you see the various features of strategy, it is basically long-term perspective. Strategy is a long-term plan that helps an organization to achieve its goals and objectives over an extended period. And strategy also is a goal-oriented. Strategy is designed to help an organization to achieve its specific objectives and goals. Objectives of each and every functional department under the organization to synchronize towards the goal, achievement of the goal for the organization as a whole. It is synchronizes and aligned. Then with respect to resource allocation, the strategy involves the allocation of resources that includes the financial resource, the human resource, the material resource, and the information resource, as well as the technological resource to achieve the desired goals that is set by the organization. Flexibility is one of the factors that a strategy must be flexible and adaptable, that is to adjust to various changing circumstances to remain effective over a time. Then strategy also relates closely to the term competitive advantage. When you talk competitive advantage, the primary goal of strategy is to create a competitive advantage for an organization, allowing it to stand out from its competitors by encasing the strength areas as well as availing the opportunities to achieve success in the marketplace. With respect to risk management, the strategy involves identifying and managing the risks that could affect an organization's ability to achieve its goals, because there are various types of risk that is encountered at various stages in the organizations. The main objective is how to overcome these risks through appropriate strategy. The strategy, the risk can be encountered at the level of production, at the level of logistics, at the level of processing, and also risk is involved during marketing. Innovation, as the term suggests, is a successful strategy often involves the innovative ideas and thinking and the development of new as well as the creative solutions to a problem that is encountered in the organization. With respect to clear communication, a strategy must be communicated effectively to all its stakeholders, those who are directly or indirectly connected to the organization because of their business interest, to ensure everyone is working towards the same goal. They have the roles and responsibility to play, and in different aspects and different ways. The measurable outcomes, if you see, strategy should include, it is very specific, measurable outcomes to evaluate its success and make adjustments as needed. That is the reason periodically during the review meeting, the plan is taken how, whether to continue with the original one or it needs a revision depending on the situation that arises from time to time. With respect to continuous review and improvement, it is a stage when strategy must be reviewed regularly and refined as needed to remain effective over time. Normally in the corporate there is a quarterly review, and during which the representative from various functional departments, they used to be present, and in micro details the activities are reviewed to find out whether the company is moving in the right direction or not. or accordingly, if needed, modification is carried out in the strategy. With respect to the concept of strategic management, it focuses on setting the long-term goals and objectives, and also it involves in allocating the resources in the that is in the budget that is prepared, and developing the strategies to achieve these goals. Here are some of the key points to help. If you see, the strategic management involves developing as well as implementing a plan for achieving the long-term goals and objectives. This plan should be flexible, adjusting to various situations, enough to adapt the changes in with regard to the environment, actional environment, and with regard to organizational resources as an internal factor. The strategic management process, it begins with an analysis of the organizational, internal, as well as actional environment. Internal environment includes the various areas like the organization structure, organization culture, the organization resources, availability of the resources like human resource, then financial resource, material resource, information resource, all this. This analysis will help to identify the strength of the organization with respect to the internal resources and the weakness of the organization, as well as in external environment, what is the opportunity available to encase, and also what are the threats they will be facing and how to effectively manage the threat areas. Based on the management tool SWOT analysis, strategic objectives and the goals are set for each and every functional departments under the organization. These objectives and goals should be specific, measurable, achievable, as well as it should be relevant and time bound. Say, with respect to the human resource department, the company has to find out about the status of existing manpower, and also to review whether there is a revision and addition or deletion of manpower is required as per the manpower planning. And also with respect to recruitment process, to select the manpower from the marketplace through standard recruitment process, and the company would like to know what is the training and development to be imparted to the employees depending on the training need analysis and training calendar that is prepared. So these are the process carried out by HR department to know and to accordingly to act in time to improve the skills, competency and capability of the employees through training as well as development programs, both internally and externally. With respect to the resources are then allocated to achieve the objectives, and also the human resources, material, financial resources, the technology resources and equipment that is available in the organization. The strategies are developed to achieve the objectives and goals. These strategies should be aligned with the organization's mission and vision. Mission refers to the very purpose of existence of organization, and with reference to what product and services company wants to offer to the marketplace, and what is its social obligation, and what services is going to offer, and who are going to be the target set of customers. So all these things that is presented in the mission statement of the organization. Similarly, the organization also has to work out what is the vision of the organization that reflects the future of the organization, say next 5 years or 10 years. What should be the progress and growth of the organization year-wise is projected in the vision statement, and should be based on the organization's strength areas, weaknesses, as well as what opportunities available in the external marketplace and what threats organization is going to face. Once the strategies are developed, then they are implemented and the progress is being monitored closely. This includes the monitoring performance, the identifying issues that arises from time to time, and the making adjustment to the plan as needed through modification periodically if needed. Then it is an ongoing process. As the environment and the organization change, the plan and strategies also need to be revised and updated according to the need of the external environment. They have to gear up accordingly. The strategic management involves the decision making at the highest level of the organization, that is at the CHO, corporate head office, those who are there to make the decisions and policy formulation. It is typically led by the senior executives and involves the input from the range of stakeholders, including the employees, customers, suppliers, the shareholders, the financiers, government, and the consultants, those who guide the based on the expertise knowledge. The ultimate goal of strategic management is to create value from customers' point of view that is taken positively by your target set of customers for the organization and its stakeholders. This value can be measured in a variety of ways. That includes the financial performance in terms of the customer satisfaction, the employee engagement, and also the social impact of the strategy. The effective strategic management, it requires strong leadership, a clear and a willingness to adapt and innovate in response to the changes in the environment from time to time. It is an essential component of the organizational success and hence can help the organizations to achieve a sustainable growth and also competitive advantage, that is by encasing, by leveraging the benefit of its strength areas to compete with others, to gain super profitability, and also to win the mind of the target customers. If we compare the concept of strategy versus the policy, strategy and policy are two important concepts that is used in the various fields such as business, in the government, and in education. While both the terms are often used interchangeably, there are some key differences exist between strategy and policy. Here are some of the highlights given. When you define a strategy, it is basically a plan of action that is designed to achieve a particular goal, whereas a policy is a set of guidelines or a set of principles that governs an organization's actions and also helps for smooth functioning of the organization's business activities with clarity and transparency, because the policy manuals are readily available for reference as and when it is needed. You see the focus area of the strategy mostly focuses on achieving the specific objectives or goals, whereas in compared to that, policy focuses on guiding the decision making and actions in a broader sense. With respect to time frame, strategy is usually developed for a specific period, say more than 1 year, say up to 5 years, or maybe more than that, such as a year or two, while policy is generally established for a longer period, such as 5 to 10 years, because that will be amended as and when it is inevitable or essential. With respect to the scope, strategy is typically focused on a specific area or a department within an organization. So because every department, they formulate their strategy with respect to functional areas, and that is aligned towards the overall corporate strategy. While policy may apply to the entire organization or even a broader external environment. If you see the concept of flexibility, strategy may be more flexible as well as adaptable to the changing circumstances in the external environment, while policy may be more rigid and less adaptable, because policy manuals are like the handbooks. It helps to decide within the purview of the policy guidelines and makes the work smoother and easier for the employees to work. With respect to the concept of implementation, strategy requires a plan of action and implementation, while policy requires enforcement and compliance. If you see the evaluation, that is the next stage in the planning process comes after implementation. The strategy is evaluated. The company would like to know what is the performance and would like to evaluate the performance outcome at the end of the financial year based on its success in achieving the desired outcomes, whereas the policy is evaluated based on its effectiveness in guiding decision making and action taking. If you compare the term strategy versus tactics, the strategy and tactics are two closely interrelated concepts that are often used interchangeably but have different meanings and different applications. Here are some of the key points to highlight the differences that exist between the term strategy and tactics. By definition, strategy refers to a long-term plan or approach to achieve the goals and objectives of the organization, whereas tactics refers to the specific action or the methods that is employed to execute the strategy. So that is done even at the middle management level. With respect to the scope, strategy is broad in scope and involves the overall direction. It shows the direction in which company has to move, has to proceed further, and vision of an organization. That is the future projection, future plan of action. While tactics are narrower in scope and focuses on practical details of achieving a particular goal. Say with respect to the production department, they would like to decide how to reduce the inventory and how to ensure timely production and production with error-free approach. With respect to the time frame, the strategy is typically a long term and may take years to implement, whereas tactics are a short term and are usually implemented within few weeks or few months. The importance of strategy, if you see, it is critical to the success of an organization as it provides a roadmap for achieving the set goals and helps to ensure that the resources are being used effectively by the organization. But tactics are also important as they help to implement the strategy in a practical way and achieve the specific objectives. Say with respect to the price revision, with respect to the appointment of the channel member or some innovative promotion strategy, etc. If you see the flexibility, strategy is less flexible than the tactics as it sets the overall direction of an organization and is difficult to change without significant efforts, whereas tactics, on the other hand, can be adjusted or it can be modified as needed by the management to achieve the specific goals or to respond to the changing circumstances that is prevailing. With respect to the focus, if you see, the strategy focuses on a big picture, whereas tactics focuses on the details, minute details, micro details. Strategy is concerned with setting the objectives and allocating the resources to execute the same, while tactics are concerned with the executing the specific tasks and achieving the short-term goals of the organization. If you see the strategy and tactics, both are important concepts that are very essential to the achieving the organization's goal, and understanding the differences between the two terms, strategy and tactics, can help organizations to develop effective plans and implement the same successfully. If you see the levels of strategy, the levels of strategy, it refers to different tiers or the types of strategic planning in an organization. The following are some of the highlight points on the level of strategy. First is the corporate strategy, that is formulated at the CHO, corporate head office of the organization, and it is the highest level of strategy that sets the overall direction for the organization to move on. It deals with the issues such as the mergers and acquisitions to be take place, as well as the diversification, the product diversification company needs to do as a product growth strategy, and also the allocation of resources among the business units based on the budgetary support and based on the need-based budget. Business unit strategy refers to the levels of strategy formulation focuses on individual business units within an organization. Say in case of a multi-product organization, product-wise, they have separate setup business unit across the wide geographical area, scattered in many different states, maybe, or different countries. It involves identifying the key factors that drives the success in each unit, and also creating the plans to achieve the specific goals. And the next level of strategy is the functional strategy, that is formulated for different functional areas like HR, marketing, finance, production, purchase, etc. The level of strategy is concerned with the specific functions of the organization and with the responsibility of the functional heads, and such as this marketing, operation, finance, etc. It involves developing the plans, developing strategies that align with the overall business unit strategy, because the strategies at different level has to align to the overall corporate strategy. If you discuss about the operational strategy, it refers to the level of strategy focus on the day-to-day business activities or operations of the organization. It involves how to reduce the cost, how to improve the quality, how to improve the efficiency of functioning, that production efficiency, manpower efficiency, etc. And then We'll discuss about the tactical strategy, that is the level of strategy which focuses on the short-term goals and short-term plans of the organization. It involves making decisions on how to implement the operational and functional strategies to achieve the specific objectives at the department level, functional department levels. If you see the grand strategy, this level of strategy refers to the long-term approach to achieve the overall vision and mission of the organization. It involves setting the priorities as deemed fit by the top management and allocating the resources accordingly to achieve the strategic goals over an extended period. If you see the significance of the strategy, it is crucial aspect of any organization's success, and there are several reasons why it is important. First of all, it sets the direction in which company will be moving ahead, marching ahead. The strategy helps in to set the direction of organization by defining the vision, that is the future projection, and mission, that is the present activities and the purpose of organization and goals. It provides a roadmap for how to achieve the success and helps aligning all the stakeholders towards a common purpose, working in an integrated manner with close coordination and cooperation by the stakeholders. And also, strategy helps in allocating the resources. A good strategy helps organizations allocate the resources effectively by identifying where to invest time, money, as well as efforts. It enables the organizations to prioritize the initiatives and allocate the resources to the most important ones. It also provides a competitive advantage. A well-designed strategy can provide a competitive advantage by identifying the unique strengths and opportunities, how to leverage and take advantage of company's strength areas, and how to encase the opportunities that are available in the external marketplace to exploit in the marketplace to its best advantage and gain competitive advantage. It helps organizations to differentiate themselves from the competitors as well as create a unique value proposition for the customers. With respect to the risk management, strategy helps the organizations to manage the risk by anticipating the potential challenges and the company is going to face, as well as the opportunities available time to time in the external marketplace. It helps the organizations to develop the contingency plan, that is the plan which is after amendment to the original one, and adapt to the changing circumstances. And the strategy drives the innovation because it can drive innovation by encouraging the organizations to explore the new ideas, new concepts by the stakeholders, those who are connected directly or indirectly for last so many years, by virtue of their wide experience and expertise knowledge, they can give valuable suggestions, ideas for the growth of the organization and for improvement of the products and ways of doing things. It helps the organizations stay relevant and also ahead of the curve in a rapidly changing business environment, which is continuously changing time to time. The overall strategy is important because it helps the organizations to achieve its goals, manage its risk efficiently, and stay competitive in the marketplace. Without a clear and effective strategy, the organizations can easily lose its focus and will be wasting the resources, that is the limited resources available with them, and fall behind the competitors. So practically if you see, then strategy and strategic management is the strength of the organization based on the expertise of the top management and competency and capability to formulate the aggressive and relative strategy which will help the organizations to stay competitive, to achieve its target, to encase the benefits that is available in the external marketplace from time to time and march ahead in the right direction. And hence, the study of strategy and strategic management is an important course program that is must for the management students. We'll be discussing the subsequent areas under the broad subject matter of strategic management in the subsequent sessions, and these are the essence which need to be understood and need to be practiced in the field, and more the things will be practiced in the field, and gaining experience will help the managers to face it, and also the function of analyzing the issues and problems that crop up time to time, and also helping giving a cost effective suggestions how to solve it. So the problem solving and managerial decision making, it goes on. It is a continuous process in the organization, and that is very essential for the success of the each and every functional departments of the organization to work aligned, keeping in view the overall objectives of the organization in a holistic approach. Thanking you.